Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited today to share with you the new spring palette I curated in collaboration with those wonderful watercolour alchemists at Deep Deep Light. The palette's name is Eleni's Spring Garden, and I named it in honour of my mother, Eleni, whose great passion in life was her garden. Spring gave her so much joy, as it was the time of year to see all her efforts during autumn and winter literally bloom. My mother sadly passed away in 2017 and her garden is no more. But the image of her and her garden live forever in my memory, and I hope to capture some of her magic in this palette. The palette will be launching today on Deep Deep Light's website. I'll add a link below, and you can use my code MOONCOLOURS for 15% off this palette and anything else in their shop. Now, to show you the colours. I'll move this little bouquet of lavender and fuchsias that I picked from the garden. I'll put them a little bit to the side, and I'll just open the palette so that you can see them. Now, this is the main palette. There are 15 colours in it, and it's called the Morning Garden palette. And this little palette here is the Night Garden palette. I'll be swatching both for you today in my Bao Hong 100% cotton watercolour sketchbook, and I really hope you like the selection. I'll just set everything up and I'll be with you in a second. I'm back and all the colours are securely in the palette, and this is the Morning Garden palette, and this is what I'm going to begin swatching. So I'll just put this to one side, and as always I've created a little layout for swatching, and I'll start with the first colour, which is Permanent Yellow Light. I put the flowers right next to me because they smell gorgeous. The fuchsias smell absolutely divine. Let me swatch this first in mass tone so you can see it. Yeah, this is such a happy yellow, bright, happy. Reminds me of the colour of daffodils, and when diluted is beautiful. It's very transparent and very delicate. Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm going to add a little bit more water. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful yellow. Such a happy yellow. Next we have Royal Yellow, which is, it's verges on orange, and you'll see what I mean when I swatch it. It's warm, so it's the warm yellow tinted orange basically in the palette. You can see it is beautiful. It reminds me a lot of fuchsias, the colour of fuchsias I have right next to me. Again, very happy, joyful, uplifting. And you can see there a tiny bit of granulation coming through. Next, we have Mayan Red, which is the cool red of the palette. It's bright, but not too bright. Not eye-poppingly bright. It is lovely. And I'll dilute it and you see what kind of pink it produces when diluted. go. It's beautiful. Again, slight granulation, very slight texture. Next we have Contemporary Vermilion, which is a bold red, bold poppy red. If you hear Tinkerbells, that's my little Tinkerbell boy Baloo. He's got his bell on and he's tinkling in the background. And diluted. This is much more of a middle red. A little bit duller than the Mayan red. There we go. Next we have Masha's Green, which I couldn't make this palette without, because it's just so vibrant and happy. It's such a happy green. I'm going to add a little bit more. This palette has quite a few greens in it because it is a spring palette, and I felt that it was only right to add maybe more greens than I would usually add. Let's dilute that. Beautiful. It's glowing. It's a glowy green. Very, very pretty. That also, they're the textures. That has beautiful texture there. Next we have Chrome Green, which is the master of mixing greens. It is a little bit opaque and it is quite a heavy pigment, but you don't need much of it when you're going to mix greens. You can mix an array of greens with this colour and you only need a tiny bit. Don't overdo it. Well, I say that and sometimes I overdo it. I'm talking to myself as well. Do not overdo the chrome green. Just a touch of chrome green and that is fine. Lovely. So rich and earthy and mossy and gorgeous green. Oh, wonky circle alert, I think. Have we avoided the wonky circleness? Yeah, I think so. It's not too bad. Next we have Juniper, which is like it's a cool bluish green, which I'm going to swatch here. So dark and mass tone. Really dark and mass tone. Really opaque. But when diluted, it is such a, I want to say airy colour. It's just gorgeous. Yeah. It reminds me of enchanted forests for some reason. It's like it's got that coolness and there's magic to it. I love juniper. And it's granulating beautifully. Next we have Forget Me Not, which is the first blue. And this is a blue that is just perfect for spring, I think. It has like a tiny bit of a lavender tint to it. And it's just so beautiful and delicate. I'm going to dilute it a little bit so you can see. Ah, so fairy-like. I say fairy-like, I always say that. I mean that it's like very light and airy and magical. I don't know why I say fairy-like, but yeah, I think you understand what I'm trying to say. The next is mineral blue, which is a cool blue. Oh, so lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And this is really lovely for mixing. But obviously lovely on its own as well. Yeah, look at that. That's gorgeous. These cool tones, because there's this contradiction in spring. You get some really warm tones and you get also these cool tones with the leaves. There's such a variation of leaves in spring, and I wanted this palette to encompass as much of that colour variation as I could possibly include in it. Oh wow, okay. Oh my goodness, I'm granulation there. So it's my heart aflutter. Now this colour is called Water Lily, and it is a colour that I created along with Deep Deep Light, and it is a new colour. It is a teal because I couldn't resist creating a teal. I mean, Deep Deep Light did all the hard work. I was just present for the mixing, really. So this is just, I love this colour. I love how it turned out, and I'm going to show it to you. So this is Mass Tone. Oh my, I love this colour. It's a greeny teal. I'm going to say what I was aiming for. I was aiming for verdigris, like a blue-green copper colour. And when we were mixing, we came across this colour when we were mixing, and it just reminded me of water, of that, of water lilies, of water around water lilies for some reason. And I thought, oh my goodness, it's just so beautiful. And it's just gorgeous, gorgeous colour. And I'm overjoyed with how it came out. Absolutely, it's cool, it's crisp, it's got green in it, and it's got that beautiful granulation in it as well. Not overpoweringly so, but it's so delicate and beautiful. And I love how it turned out, and I wanted to thank Deep Deep Light for allowing me to do this with him. I feel very, very honoured, and thank you so much. Yeah, I love this colour. Okay, next on we have Ultramarine Rose, which I thought had to be in the palette as a spring palette. It's perfect for the spring, I think. It's just a pinkish violet colour. And I like how it contrasts with the water lily. And diluted. It's so delicate and pretty. And cool. Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous. And then we have lavender, which is a violet. And I thought this has to be in the palette as well, because it shouts spring to me. Not only the name, but the colour as well. I mean, how dramatic is that mineral blue? That's incredible. And that has separated into a pink underneath. It's almost, I think it looks like ultramarine roses in there. That's what it looks like to me. And diluted. I mean, these cool hues together, they're gorgeous. And wonky circle. Oh my goodness, this is going out of control. Okay. Okay, that went a little bit wonky. Okay, so I'm going to have to move to the next page. I'll just pause here so I can move everything and I'll be back. I've moved on to our second page, and these 3 colours are the final 3 colours of the main palette. The first colour of the 3 is burnt sienna, because we need a burnt sienna in the palette. It's a beautiful earth colour, and it's just perfect for the colour of fertile earth, and it has a beautiful texture. Once I dilute it, you'll see what I mean. Yes, coming through beautifully. It's a beautiful burnt sienna. I think it leans more towards reddish than orange, but you can see a little bit of orange in areas, so that it has a tiny bit of colour separation from what I can see with my eyes. Next we have partridge. This colour is just, it's amazing. It's such a unique colour, and I'll just swatch it for you so you can see. It has like this cool earthy brown at first. There's earthy brownness to it, which I think is perfect for branches. You know, the bare branches in spring where you get those buds and the blooms. That's what it reminds me of. Specifically, it reminds me of the almond tree I have in my garden, and the colour of its branches. But it's much more complex than just brown. I think it's gorgeous. It's one of a kind colour. It is absolutely, it's a greyish brown, and it has like tiny specks of yellow. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And last but not least, we have the alchemist of the group, which is butterfly. And butterfly is in this palette because I thought we needed a colour that we could mix pastels with. And I think this is perfect for mixing pastel colours. Pastel colours in spring. So it's our little helper. It's beautiful as a colour as well, don't get me wrong, but I primarily put it in the palette for mixing, so we can get some beautiful pastel colours, candy-like, and much less harsher than having white as a mixer, much more natural. Here we go. Now that palette is done, we're going to move on to the Night Garden, which I love so much. It has 8 colours in it, and it's inspired by my mother's garden at night. And to be absolutely honest, not just my mother's garden, gardens in the Mediterranean at night. It has that magic of the colours that come to life under the moonlight. So I'm going to start with what might seem an unconventional colour for a night colour, but for me it was perfect. Cowslip. Cowslip is a pale, delicate yellow, and when I was looking through the colours to choose the colours for this palette, it just reminded me so much of like colours of flowers at night that are yellow, and under the moonlight they tend to get this bluish hue and they become this very delicate ethereal yellow. So that's why cowslip is in there. Next is River. River is beautiful, cool, green, blue colour, which again reminds me of the colours that a garden takes at night. Those dark green shadows, dark green moonlit shadows. And I love the colour. It's beautiful. And I think it goes well with a cowslip. Next we have Mint, which is another ethereal colour. It's very delicate and again it reminds me of flowers, rather leaves under the moonlight. Especially here we have lots of olive trees, and it reminds me of the underneath of the olive leaves under the moonlight. Oh, the next one is Router's Dream, which is just, it's a magical colour. It's one of those unique colours by Deep Deep Light again, which splits into different colours when you apply it. I'm going to try and add a little bit more water. I have very little space to swatch it here. I don't think I'm going to do it justice, but I might be able to show you what I mean. I can see the pink already. It's like a dark, very dark, moody green, and then you get pink. Perfect for a nighttime colour. An earthy nighttime colour. I can see the pink coming through. It is just, this is an alchemy in a half pan. Beautiful. And for the night sky we have Night Raspberry. I couldn't do a night palette without Night Raspberry. Let's just see if I can apply it, without doing a total mass tone, so that you can see more of the colour. It's lovely, lovely, lovely. Bluish, deep violet. I don't know if that's going to come through. I really don't through the camera. I can see it, and I can see like tiny bits of pink again in there. But I wish I had one of those cameras that you can really get close to and just like do macro on the textures of the colours. The next one is Rose Ashes. Again, a colour I couldn't pass for the night palette. And it's just, and it pairs so beautifully with the night raspberry and the river. Beautiful colour. Again, has colour separation and texture. Buddhist Dreamers just completely separated there. And river has this beautiful granulation. Next we have Cherry Blossom, which is for the pale blooms on trees under the moonlight again. And I think it really suits Rose Ashes and Night Raspberry. And last of this palette is Fly, which I fell completely head over heels in love with. It is just, it's a pinkish stone colour, which I thought suited this palette again very well, because it reminds me of the cobbled footpath in the Mediterranean gardens. You get these tiny, tiny specks of different colours in there. You've got a little bit of black, a little bit of pink. I just thought this palette I just love, absolutely adore. I have a swatch of it in my my personal journal because I like to just look at it as it is. Okay, so those are the colours I chose for spring and for Eleni's spring garden. I'll just bring everything into focus so that you can see everything. Okay, so I think everything is more or less in shot here. This is the morning garden palette, and this here is the night garden palette. I really hope you like the selection. I'm very grateful to Deep Deep Light for letting me name this palette after my mother. It means so much to me, and I just know that she's smiling wherever she is now. And just want to say thank you so much. And as I said before, I'll leave all the links in the description if you would like to purchase the palette or anything else in the Deep Deep Light store. You can use my code, my discount code, which is Moon Colours, for 15% off. And yes, and I'd love to find out if you like the colours, if you like the selection of colours. I would love to hear your thoughts. Okay, so that is Eleni's spring garden. Just put my flowers there. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sitting through this with me, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I need to say my awkward bit, which is, if you liked this video, please hit the like button so that YouTube's algorithm thingy knows that you liked it, so that they promote the video and it reaches more people so we can share more watercolour love. I would like to say, if you would like to subscribe, hit the subscription button, and just hit also the notification button so that YouTube will let you know when I have a video ready and uploaded. And I love your comments. Leave a comment if you would like. I love reading them, and I do try and answer as many as I can. Now, I am going to leave you now with a little message about hope. And I think spring is, if there was any kind of season that was like a symbol of hope, it's spring. And after the darkness and the dark long days, spring's here, and it brings with it beauty and clarity and warmth. So if you are in a dark time now and you are struggling, don't lose hope, please. I'm right there holding on to hope with you. Just focus in your mind on the spring that will come. It will, I promise it will. Thank you so much for being with me. I hope to see you soon with some more watercolours. Till next time, bye-bye for now. Bye.